like that.
Good morning, everybody. It's Victory Monday. About ready to get this thing started. Woo! Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Victory Monday. Good morning, Fred Peterson. Good morning, Jeremy Ballrick. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning, Henry. Good morning, Jeffrey Addison, who was present and accounted for. Scotty Reno in the house. Perry's in the house. Aiden in the house, Paul in the house, Jay in the house, Ken in the house, Elise, Memes in the house. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It is Victory Monday. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's Victory Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome one and welcome all to Lions Talk with Russell Wayne. That is me. Lions Talk today, even though we are broadcasting live into Mike the Bear fans page. And there may be some Packer fans watching, maybe some Viking fans watching, but for the first time all season long, with all of the hoopla and everything like that, there is one team left standing here in the NFC North, in the NFC Championship, and that is your Detroit Lions defeating the Bucs and moving on to the NFC Championship, where they get to go out to San Francisco and play for a shot to do something that they've never done before. They have a chance. They have a chance to get in there. We're broadcasting live in the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. We just crossed over 29,000 villains, and we would love it right now, right here and right now, if you reach down and hit that follow button on the Detroit Lion Villain Squad if you are a Detroit Lion fan. And now, right now, I am joined, as always, by my compadre, Main Event Mike.
Good morning, Russ. It's the most glorious of all Victory Mondays to ever happen to this Michigan boy.
The champ is here.
Yeah, that's right. If you look down at the bottom on the graphic, it says NFC Championship. NFC Championship right there. And the Lions are in there, Mike. This is what it looks like. 4 teams left. And the Lions are one of them. They got a chance to go out to San Francisco, but let's go through these games, Mike. This is it isn't just about the Lions because this is football talk, but we are Lion fans. So this is the juices are flowing right here. And I want to start with this Lions game, Mike. Do you got that box score in there? Give me some stuff.
I do. Detroit Lions win their second playoff game for the first time in forever. 31-23 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, an 8-point deficit for Tampa Bay. They couldn't overcome it at the end. The Detroit Lions won this game just like they've won all the last 3 or 4 games. Bend, don't break, outscore the other team, outcoach the other team in this instance, in my opinion. Jared Goff was the man. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said absolutely. I'm agreeing with you.
Jared Goff, 30 of 43 for 287 yards and 2 touchdowns, a passer rating of 103.5. Baker Mayfield, 349 yards. We see this. Nick Mullins. We see this. Matt Stafford. They throw a lot, but when we get into the red zone, we stiffen up. Baker, 26 of 41. It's not that good. 349 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 crucial interceptions. One in the first quarter, one in the fourth quarter to seal the game. He did have a 94.5 passer rating. Overall, Lions did a really good job defensively compared to what I thought. Mike Evans did have his way, as we've seen these receivers taking us out like Nakua, like Justin Jefferson the last couple of weeks. Mike Evans, 8 receptions, 147 yards, and a touchdown on 12 targets. He's a beast. A free agent next year would look real good in Honolulu blue, I think. Might be a little too pricey for the way we're doing things. But, hey, Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, Rachaad White, 9 carries for 55 yards. That's a 6.1 yard average. I'm not sure why Tampa Bay didn't go to the run more often. They were able to run the ball more effectively than any team has in the last 5 weeks against the Detroit Lions. They managed only 89 yards total on the ground, but that's because Baker threw 41 passes. They only had 10 drives. Both teams, this was a pretty even game, pretty much. Tampa Bay did outgain us in total yards. Total rushing yards for the Lions, 114 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, 9 carries, 74 yards, 1 touchdown. That's an 8.2 yard average, folks. I felt like the Lions didn't run the ball enough as well. Either of these teams, they were in playoff form, just chucking it up there. What an exciting game it was. David Montgomery, 10 carries, 33 yards. And our boy, Craig Reynolds, 1 carry. 1 carry, 1 yard, 1 TD. How's that for a stat line? Amon-Ra St. Brown, an absolute all-pro stud, 8 catches, 77 yards. Sam Laporta, 9 catches for 65 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown also had a huge touchdown on a beautiful throw by Jared Goff. Jahmyr Gibbs also caught 4 passes for 40 yards to add to his 74 yards of rushing, so he goes over 100 from scrimmage. Josh Reynolds, only 2 catches for 27 yards, but one was a huge touchdown in the back of the end zone and a great catch on a throw that was behind him and high. Lions notables here, 6 of 14 on 3rd down. That's not too shabby, especially when the defense holds the Bucs to only 4 of 12 on 3rd down. A few other things here too, Russ. Lions had 8 QB hits, and they had 4 sacks as a team, while the Bucs only had 2 sacks. Levante David leading the way for the Bucs with 13 tackles. Overall, a great team win. On our way to San Francisco for the NFC title game, it feels like a dream.
I love it, man. I love it. And one thing that is really telling in these stats, and I was hoping that you weren't going to hit it while you were going through that, but you hit these stats up, and I wanted to point out right here, this is a trend. Right, that the Lions give up a lot of yards to the number 1 wide receivers. But I also want to point out another trend that goes a little bit deeper than that. I think that's by design here. They are funneling this type of play right here where you do have 8 catches for 147 yards. Yeah, they left that open, but yeah, everybody else is in witness protection. Where are you, Chris Godwin? Where are you, Trey Palmer, Chase Edmonds, David Moore? Cade Otton had 5 catches for 65 yards, but outside of Mike Evans or their one big play receiver, they allow all of that that stuff to get in there. The bend don't break philosophy. We're going to give up stuff in between the 20s and the big yards over the middle and everything like that. But the bottom line is this defense stiffens up when it needs to stiffen up. I mean, it was so predictable that they played right into that thing yesterday at the end of the game. I knew when they were going down and they were up by 8, I was like, there's zero chance that Baker Mayfield is going to drive down here on this defense with Aiden Hutchinson, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and Derek Barnes, and Jack Campbell, and all these studs that have all proven that they can rise to an occasion. And I said, Baker's going to throw a pick. He's going to make a mistake. He's going to throw a pick. Second play of that drive, he throws a pick to Derek Barnes. It's over. It's over. This is a different Lions team. And if you think they have no chance against San Francisco, you should think again. Because if you watched Aaron Jones run right through that Swiss cheese of a defense of the San Francisco 49ers, the Lions are going to be able to run the ball against this team. That's my first thought of this NFC Championship game. They can protect Jared Goff. Oh, they have Nick Bosa. Oh, and they have Chase Young. We have Penei Sewell. We have Frank Ragnow. We have Taylor Decker. We got your kryptonite. We got your kryptonite on defense. Now, can Brock Purdy get it done? Wow. That's what I want to know is when Brock Purdy has been challenged and in games where they're slugging it out, this is a guy that can throw multiple turnovers in a game. You can get to Brock Purdy and mess him up and turn it into a bad game really, really fast. And we have the type of defense that can force him into mistakes.
So many good comments today, Russ. To your point, Paul, right here. We match up good against San Francisco. They run, and we stop the run. Purdy folds under pressure, and we bring a ton of it. Should be a better game than Green Bay versus San Francisco, but we will see. What a great comment that is. Glenn says, Lions will upset the 49ers. Scotty Reno, congrats to the Packers on a great season. Jordan Love is the real deal. We're definitely going to talk about that game as well. I like this one from Jordan. Well, this will be the shortest Pick'em Friday episode ever this week. Maybe we could talk about funny Matt Patricia related things not to Google on Friday.
Oh, there'll be plenty to talk about. I mean, the picks are always quick. We run through the picks pretty quick, except when we're picking like 15 games in the middle of the season. But here's
the best part of the comments, Russ. We have some great Packer fans in here giving their congrats to us. Morning all. Sad the Packers lost, but congrats to the Lions. Hope y'all win it all. Thank you so much. Glenn says, Green Bay showed how you can beat San Fran, and Detroit will execute and win. And one of our favorite Packer fans here, Steve, says, my dad's a Lions fan and I hope now that my team is eliminated, the Lions can win it all for my dad. He's 85 with dementia and Alzheimer's, so he can see his team finally win the big game. I love that call out, Steve. Our best wishes to your dad. Tell him we said go Lions, will you? Tina says, I said it once and I'll say it again. The Lions go all the way and win it all. Some great comments this morning, Russ.
I love the fact that, the Lions fans finally get this moment, I mean, when you're realizing how big it is that, we haven't witnessed this. Okay. Like 1991 was the last time they went to the NFC Championship, but nobody that, unless that you were born before 1957, have seen 2 playoff wins in the same year. This is like, even when we went to the NFC Championship, they were the 1 seed, correct? And then they won 1 game and then they lost in the title game. That was still only 1 playoff win in that NFC Championship appearance from 1991. This city hasn't seen Detroit win 2 playoff games in the same year. Mm-hmm. This is history. It's historic. We were bringing up my father-in-law was born in 1957. I'm not sure if he was born before or after the second playoff win, but it's like elderly people are seeing stuff they've never seen before with this Lions team, and it's exciting. And it's a great time to be a Lions fan. And even for these bandwagoners, all these outside. What a great meme by Elise Memes, by the way. I love that meme with the two astronauts. And it's like, now everybody, the nation, the entire United States has a man crush on our football team.
Mm-hmm.
Get off my team. Stop eyeballing my team, okay? You can't just like latch onto the team, but they can, because that's what the Lions fans have been doing for 30 years, because you can't watch playoff football without, picking a secondary team as a Lion fan. Oh, I gotta root for somebody. and I understand that's where all those Detroit Ram fans came from. I forgive you guys. I mean, for what it is, but you got to draw your line now. Now that your team is good, you can't be dating other people. All right. I'm going to just throw that out there. All right. Are you laughing at the comment or my comment?
Your comment. You can't be dating other people. Right? This is a monogamous relationship between us and the Lions.
It has to be. It has to be, because this regime is pretty good looking. They got the whole package. I shouldn't have said it like that. That sounds really weird. I use the word package.
Are you wearing your Barry Sanders jersey?
I am.
He's wearing a Barry jersey. I'm wearing an Alex Anzalone, but thanks to Sharpie and duct tape, it's now an Alex Anzalone.
I love it. Yeah, but that was one of those great running backs that were selected to replace Barry Sanders that you had back in the day. But now it's an Alex Anzalone jersey.
Hold on.
So that's good.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Jeremy Ballreich, writer for the South Florida Tribune, just puts this on here. Lions just signed Zach Ertz per Tom Pelissero of ESPN. Holy cow. That's some breaking news, Jeremy. Thank you so much. I'm going to confirm that right now. Take a look at my ESPN app. Go ahead, Russ.
I have something to say. This is interesting. He played in Arizona, right?
He last played in Arizona. And yep.
Who is in Arizona's division?
The San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, so they're signing a guy that might know something about the San Francisco 49ers. Smart move. That's a smart move. I don't think that he's going to see any meaningful playing time behind Laporta or Brock Wright, but I think as far as a good intel, another body to throw in there, making sure that you got a full week of practice and you can get them up to speed, especially if they go to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. This doesn't seem like the type of regime that's going to be like, oh, wow, Zach Ertz, boom, you're out there. It seems like you got him there. Let's see what he can do. I think that sounds like a bigger signing than it actually is. Let's put it that way.
Zach Ertz is a real deal tight end. I mean, he ranks second, if I'm not mistaken, over the last 5 years. He ranks second in total yards receiving. This is a real guy. Paul Jones says Brock Wright may have broken his hand yesterday. That would explain this signing. That would explain this signing, especially when you consider Porter's banged up with the knee, right? James Mitchell out with a hand injury. Kabinda can't catch a cold. He did have one.
He had one catch.
He had one reception yesterday for 0 yards. But we love Kabinda. He's a special team.
He caught it. He watched the ball go right into his hands.
I am not, however, able to confirm the Zach Ertz sighting. There's nothing on ESPN. There's nothing in the Lions news. So Jeremy has some back channels maybe that we can't.
He's got connections.
Access. Yeah, he's connected.
He's got connections.
He meets with a guy every day in a McDonald's parking lot, and he passes him a note, and he passes him an Egg McMuffin, and that's how business gets done.
That's how the relationships work nowadays in 2023. Hey, Zach Ertz, I like Zach Ertz, and I love everything that you just said about Zach Ertz. And if it was 2017, I would be on board with. I'd be like, yeah, but unfortunately, it's 2023, and that if Brock Wright did break his hand, I get it, but Zach Ertz has been sitting on the sideline, on his couch, freely able for all 32 teams to go and sign him at any time they wanted to. And we just so happened to assign him, but this is it's breaking news because we talk about football 24/7 and we have to talk about punters if that's what's out there. But this isn't huge news to me.
Brent says, I didn't see Houston yesterday, James Houston. Oh, sorry. All right, Steve's getting that one.
Oh, man. Steve's at his Egg McMuffin meeting.
I don't think Houston played. Does anyone know? I didn't see James Houston in the game either. I suspect it's because we never trailed in the game. Had, halftime coming, we were down by 10. We might have seen some pressure coming from, they might have put James Houston in. I did see him on the sidelines dressed, however. So he was there and available. And at the beginning of the game, I was looking for him. And then I forgot about it and got lost in the hype. But no, I did not see him get on the field. If anyone else did, please put it in the comments.
But I do love the fact that they don't rush players back. It's like, you're out there in an as-needed situation. Even like Sam Laporta last week. Yeah, he played in a game. He had one gigantic catch along with one other catch for like 16 yards in the entire game. And they just really had him out there more or less as a decoy for most of the game. And that's how they bring their players back. It's really smart. I mean, you want Houston's getting better and better and better week by week on that broken leg. And the less pressure that you got to put on that is better. The less tape that you have on James Houston, the better, especially going into championship games.
Right.
I mean, they've never seen him rush. San Francisco, I mean, they got tape from 2022, but they got nothing on how he looks in this defense with these players. So I think that there is something to that in the advantage. I mean, look, when they brought Bruce Irvin in, right? He didn't do anything the first week. He was just kind of out there. And then the following week, he comes in and gets a sack, makes an impact on the game. Brad Holmes has used like every means to getting players at his disposal, and he uses it to the best of the ability, like rising these guys up with their 3 elevations off the practice squad, being able to use these guys without having to sign people to the main roster that are contributing to the team. Gosh, Brad Holmes is this right here is the best thing that's happened to Detroit right here. I love Dan Campbell. I love the team and everything like that, but it comes with roster construction, the type of football players that they're getting on this team that are taking us there. You got relatively unknown dudes that to the national, we know them. We know our Jack Campbells and Derek Barnes and our Ifatus and everything, but to the national media, they're just getting introduced to these guys for the first time, right? These guys are going to become superstars right in front of our very eyes on the defensive side of the ball. And we have not peaked defensively yet. Mike's probably going to talk a little bit more later on in this show about how this team needs to improve the secondary play. This team needs to improve things, and they're in the NFC Championship. This defense hasn't even peaked yet. Let that sink in. They're winning games, and they're not even at their best yet. They haven't broken through a lot of those glass ceilings yet. How good can Jack Campbell be? God, the guy's been a full-time starter for like 6 minutes now, and he's starting to become the guy. Like right in front of our very eyes. Ifatu, 3 years in the making. Derek Barnes sealed the game. That's 3 years in the making. Everyone, they bought. What a bust! I can't believe they drafted Derek Barnes. Whatever.
Oh yeah,
they know how to develop players. Remember that? Steve is real. Yeah, you guys have Jordan Love. You know how to develop quarterbacks. Obviously, you were right in that. The Lions know how to develop players. They know how to take 2-3 years and allow these guys to become the players that they're going to be. And here is why they draft them. Up in the head. They know how to be mentally tough in tough situations. Dan Campbell says that in his press conference, where it's like they're not even looking. We're not looking for linebacker. We're not looking for specific positions. We're looking for players, guys that don't melt under pressure, guys that step up in big moments and don't change who they are when the moment gets big. Mm-hmm. They still just execute their tunnel focused. That's the type of dudes. That's the type of dudes right here. Brad Holmes. That's right there. That's my guy. That's all I'll say about that.
Thank you, Forrest. We want to talk about this Green Bay San Francisco game.
Not really, but we have to. I mean,
what a game! What a game! The Packers had it in the bag, and this is a question I'm going to post to our viewers. Did the Niners pull out the game, or did the Packers choke? 100%, in my opinion, Packers choked. Congrats to the Packers for exceeding expectations. Congratulations on hitting on a third franchise quarterback in a row. Great season. Congrats on making the playoffs, beating the number 2 seed, and taking the number 1 seed right down to the wire. Believe me, us Lions fans, the majority of us, we're sorry you lost. We wanted to host you in the NFC title game. Not Russell Wayne, not some of those Lions
I'll talk
fans.
about that.
They want to take the hard road and go to San Francisco and beat the best. But kudos on behalf of all Lions fans to our division rivals, the Green Bay Packers, for taking the Niners into the deep water and almost pulling out the win. San Francisco wins the game 24-21. Brock Purdy, a very pedestrian 23 of 39, 252 yards and a touchdown. He had a passer rating of a mediocre 86.7. He also had 14 rushing yards. Christian McCaffrey, 17 carries for 98 yards. That's pretty good, guys.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's
ding.
a 5.8-yard average and 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey also had 30 yards receiving. So much for having a bad calf is what we heard going in. The guy's just an absolute beast. You could stop him. I think the Lions have a real chance, just like one of our viewers said here in the chat. I love that call. George Kittle, 4 receptions for 81 yards and a touchdown. The San Francisco 49ers mustered 111 yards rushing on the ground. They had 0 turnovers, right? Jordan Love had 2 turnovers. The Niners had 0. That's the key to the game. Jordan Love was able to, they never got near Jordan Love. The Niners, this vaunted defense, 0 sacks on Jordan Love. He looked smooth, escaping the pocket. Jordan Love was 21 of 34 for 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, 2 costly interceptions. A 72.4 passer rating. That's his lowest passer rating since week 13. Aaron Jones, another stud day, over 100 yards. He had a 6-yard per carry average. 18 carries. Green Bay outgained San Francisco on the ground. They had 136 yards to 111. Aaron Jones, why Green Bay went away from the run? I have no idea. He was averaging 6 yards per carry, 18 carries, 108 yards. You cannot tell me, though, that Green Bay didn't choke this game. The last 4 possessions, interception, 3 and out, punt, interception. Okay. It's been so much has been made about the last throw of the game by Jordan Love, the interception where he threw across his body into the middle of the field, into triple coverage. That's just a young quarterback's mistake. All quarterbacks learn this, and all Green Bay quarterbacks learn this against the Niners in the playoffs. So
playoffs.
Yeah. Tough way to end a game that I felt like the Packers were dominating this game. They had the Niners number and just came down to the 4th quarter and they choked it away. Tough break. Dre Greenlaw for the San Francisco 49ers is an absolute beast. Fred Warner gets all the publicity for that linebacking core, but Dre Greenlaw, 8 tackles, 2 interceptions. Green Bay was 10 of 16 on 3rd down. If the Lions can go 10 of 16 on 3rd down with our offense against this Niners team, I really like our chances. By the way, the opening line on the game for the Niners-Lions is 7 points.
Wow. And I think there is some, like, when you say that Green Bay choked the game away, there is some truth to that. But when you're looking at Christian McCaffrey, okay, and we'd even talked about this, leading up to it, that if Green Bay can't stop this guy, then they're really not going to be able, and big players show up in big moments. I'm not going to crucify them too much, at least on a defensive side of the ball, because Christian McCaffrey is him. Like, he is as advertised. He's the best running back in all football, and he proved it, and he was out there. But on the side, it's the same thing I said about
It's my quarterback.
Jordan Love in the beginning. It's like, this kid looks amazing when it comes down to, off-platform throws and, when you're in the middle of the game. But there is something about this kid, and this isn't just the NFC Championship. He didn't just learn this in the NFC Championship. In games where it's close and it comes down to him having to make the play in order for them to win, he chokes. That's what that quarterback does in those moments. He threw it across his body. He made the biggest mistake in the biggest moment. You had opportunities to close that game out. Green Bay, you were the better team. You were the better team. As a matter of fact, I would go as far as to say you should have won that game. You have Romeo Doubs, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to toot his horn once again. I said at the beginning of the season, you think that Christian Watson is your number one. He's not your number one. Romeo Doubs is your best wide receiver, and he proved it again in the big game. In the big game, he showed up. And now he had 4 catches for 83 yards, averaging 20 yards a pop. All he did was make 4 gigantic catches in that game in big moments. They may have all been third downs. That's Romeo Doubs right there, working the best defense in the National Football League, the San Francisco 49ers, working them on the outside. So, with that being said, the Lions offense can absolutely move the football on this team. And yeah, if Jared Goff gets pressured, and the game could be over quick. I get that part of it, but I believe in my offensive line. I think that my best player, the best player on the Detroit Lions team, Frank Ragnow, and the second best player, Penei Sewell, and the third best player, Taylor Decker, before we even get into any of the all-skill positions, those are my best players. I think they can hold up just like the Green Bay Packers did against that defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
They lost the game.
An overwhelming amount of the viewers here agree with me that Green Bay choked it. They choked it away. And even our Packer fans all say, no, absolutely Green Bay choked. Paul Jones says Green Bay choked by running the prevent defense on the last drive. Henry says Packers choked. We should be beating their ass next week in Ford Field. Dang it. I agree with that call.
Yep.
Turkessa says Packers choked. 49ers should have lost. Niners had too many interceptions. Steve or Tracy, I'm pretty sure it's Steve. Make Brock beat us with his arm. Like our chances. They don't want nothing to do with us. That's a great call out too, Steve. Thank you. Also, we have a Grizzly who says, what can we do about Cam Sutton? He's going to cost us the way he keeps playing. I don't think we have to do anything about Cam Sutton, Grizzly. I think Cam Sutton is the floor moving forward in this defense.
And and where do you get that from? Like,
he's been getting burned, but yesterday was really obvious how much he was getting burned, overrunning plays. It was not a good look
until he makes the play, but nobody wants to talk about the plays that he makes at the end of the game when it comes time to seal the game. When it's time to win the game, the defense makes the plays that they need to play. That they give up plays in the middle of the game all the time. Every defense does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Romeo Doubs against the best secondary in the NFL was running rampant on that San Francisco 49ers. Do you think they're talking about replacing him right now? This is the game that we're in, guys. This is the NFC Championship. By the way, all the teams are going to be really, really good. And by the way, all the teams are going to be really, really good at finding wherever your weakest spot is. And by the way, every team has this. Every team has a Cam Sutton. That there's something that you can go after. And the Lions are going to be working on it all week, whatever that thing is on San Fran. And I think it's run. I think they're going to be able to run the ball on them. But that doesn't mean they have a bad run defense. It means that you are good enough to find what that weakness is. And if I knew that Cam Sutton was the Lions' weakest player, you know what I would do? I would scheme to where every damn play goes Cam Sutton. And that's what they did. So he gets burnt on 3 plays. and plays well on 15 plays, we remember the 3. But you got to realize that Tampa Bay schemed the entire game plan against Cam Sutton and Kendall Vildor. They didn't try anything else. Like you said, well, they were averaging 6 yards a carry. Yeah, they were. But they knew where they had the advantage, which was Mike Evans against the number 1 cornerback. That's gonna be our heel. But you can't fix every single thing. No one's gonna have a perfect football team. There's no perfect football teams left. You might be able to make the argument for Baltimore.
Ken Doby on line 1. He says 85 Bears were perfect.
Yeah. Jim McMahon, dude, what an awesome quarterback he was. He could sure hand the ball off to Walter Payton. Boy, he was awesome.
And this conspiracy that the NFL logo features the colors of the teams that are represented. So that's just people saying that it is scripted. Henry Gray says somebody better tell the NFL to change the colors of the Super Bowl logo because the Lions are rolling into the big show. Well, I've given that some thought. And actually, the colors are purple. People say that's for the Ravens and the red for the Niners. However, it could be the Chiefs for red. And when that red blends with Honolulu blue, what color does blue and red make? Purple, folks. Purple.
Whoa, dude.
There you go. Whoa, dude.
Whoa,
you just blew my mind right there, dude.
Oh, man, I'm starting to sound like David Fitt, man. The special teams coordinator for, man. We were out there.
Like
they were playing like the off-ball stuff, and I thought the guys played really well. And, special teams goes unnoticed a lot of the times.
Coach Phipp, what can you tell us about Jalen Reeves-Maybin being a Pro Bowl, all-pro selection?
Well, I mean, the guy, he shows up every day and executes the game plan and does a good job, man.
If you don't know, that's a really good David Phipp impression.
Oh, my gosh.
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
Oh, we do have some great coaching here, and it's just, it goes back to that developmental thing, but I can't keep on doing this. I'm not going to sidetrack us again. We have 2 other games we want to talk about right here. What about this game right here? I mean, was it as advertised? And the boogeyman, like I had said, now Patrick Mahomes, and this is what I'll say before I'll turn it over to you. Now, because of what I said the other day, right? He was 3-0. If Patrick Mahomes can go in here and win under these circumstances, he now has a lifetime membership inside of Josh Allen's head, and he will never win a playoff game against Patrick Mahomes for the rest of his life. So if they do win the Super Bowl, it ain't going through any part of Kansas City. You better hope he's injured. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I do not feel the way you just said that. I don't feel. I watched this whole game. What a game! What a great game! And what did you expect? Anything less? I am the only one on our panel that picked the Chiefs on this game. By the way, I'm done with all this. Josh Allen's overhyped. He's not overhyped. His receivers stink. Stephon Diggs is overrated. He's overhyped. Josh Allen in that game last night threw a gorgeous 60-yard bomb on first down the right sideline, right on the money. Stephon Diggs goes up, hits his hands. He turns around and holds up the 1-inch sign. Oh, like I was this close. You were this close, buddy. No, he was right on, Stephon. You missed it. You dropped it. You had only a half a step on the CB, and Josh Allen put that ball right on the money. A crucial second down in the red zone. Josh Allen throws just outside the red zone, throws a dime to the end zone. Khalil Shakir doesn't dive for it, doesn't even continue running. He just jogs while the ball hits right to the ground. That was a perfect throw. You were covered. He was throwing you open. How about a little effort for Josh Allen, huh? The guy's a total beast. I think someday he's going to win it. They're just going to get some guys around him that are as much of a gamer as he is. But you look at the effort that Josh Allen puts into every game. Shakir, Stephon Diggs, these guys aren't trying nearly as hard as he is. What a great football game. Honestly, one of the most violent football games I've ever seen. Every play, every hit was brutal. Both teams out for blood on defense, and they were knocking heads. Just a tough game. And, Pat Mahomes, what a dude. This guy's a dude. He just comes out, cool as a cucumber, drives the ball down, scores the winning touchdown.
Yep.
That's it. And then Josh Allen's guys gave up on him. I wanted the Bills to win this game. I really did.
I did too.
But I feel like Josh Allen just doesn't have enough around him. James Cook finally emerging as a running back. I didn't do the box score for this because I could just tell you both. It was a quarterback duel like we expected it to be. Just a fantastic game. Congratulations to the Chiefs. Now you get to go into Baltimore and play the Ravens. That one's going to be interesting to pick on Friday. I can't wait till we see the injuries shake out this week and see who's going to be playing in that game so we can make a good prediction.
Man, I feel so bad because Steve Salter is one of my favorite friends, and I know that he's a big Bills fan. And I watched that game, and I agree with you on the Stephon Diggs catch that he should have caught that. But on the touchdown pass where he had a shot to go ahead in the game, he threw a lame duck in the middle of the end zone right there. I don't think that's on the receiver. He could have thrown that in stride. He didn't have to make him dive at all.
The guy was covered. The guy was covered. He threw it where only his receiver could catch it, Russ.
I don't know if we're talking about the same play, but I remember a distinct play where the wide receiver was wide open and he just completely missed the ball. But here's the thing. It came down to the Patrick Mahomes having a better team all around than the Buffalo Bills. It's like Pacheco closed that game out, man. I mean, they ran the ball down their throat at the end and were able to close that game out against the Buffalo Bills. And when I say there's nothing against Josh Allen is a beast. Like this guy is as good as any quarterback that's out there. But I remember the Jim Kelly. I remember how awesome he was, but there was just something that was there that was like the mental block that was on the Super Bowl. This is a Patrick Mahomes. God, even when I'm good, I lose. It's like he's going to live there. And you better hope that road when the Bills actually win the Super Bowl with Josh Allen, it's just not going to go. Somebody's going to take out Kansas City. And then you're going to have your path. And then you're going to go. And then you're going to win the Super Bowl, Josh Allen. It just ain't going to be on Patrick Mahomes' watch.
Yeah, and Tyler Bass, the kicker for the Buffalo Bills. One of our viewers said wide right strikes again for the Buffalo Bills. Everybody remembers the Scott Norwood in the Super Bowl, wide right. It was crazy, too, because I feel like I felt that one coming. They showed an end zone view from the opposite end zone looking all the way down the field, and the little flag on the top of the goalpost was blowing almost in a 90-degree angle. It was almost like, wow, what a stiff wind going right. And then when they came back down and they showed the goalpost that he was kicking at, the flag was barely moving. So that tells me, I mean, this happened right back to back. So that tells me that wind was swirling and gusting, right?
Right.
And that ball looked really good until it got some elevation, and then it blew right off to the side. Shankopotamus is that's what Jeremy B says, Shankopotamus. And
they had I saw a meme out there that had it wasn't really a meme, but it just had Tyler Bass sitting there, but they crossed out the B. So it was ass.
Jeffrey Addison says Josh Allen should have kicked the field goal too.
Oh my
He was
God.
that good.
You didn't need to. And that's part of the thing. It's like, my opinion on that has nothing to do with how good Josh Allen is. It just has to do with the boogeyman being there. That wasn't his fault that his kicker sucks. He drove him down to tie the game with like a little bit of time left.
That was the drive where Khalil Shakir did not dive for the ball or make a real effort to catch that ball in the end zone. If he
I
would
have
have
to
caught
look
that
at
the
that
whole game.
again.
Yeah,
I
please do.
swear that he could have just led him if the pass was just in stride, had just been a touchdown. Like
they say that he got hit on the play, that Chris Jones was pushing his blocker right into him.
No, he missed him. That was bullshit.
I knew that was bullshit right when they said it, because he had let the ball go before the defender hit him. So,
you missed it.
Absolutely.
He just missed the throw. Like
and then, like Elise says, Ray Finkel steps up to the field goal. Finkel and Einhorn. Laces out. That's a great call.
Oh man, you want to glance over this other game? I mean, it was just kind of
here's everything you need to know. 10-10 at halftime, and then it was over. Second half, Baltimore Ravens come out, score 24 unanswered points.
Right. Shut
them down. C.J. Stroud putting up 400-yard games all the way through the last 6 weeks of the season, 350-yard games. He gets less than 200 yards. That Baltimore Ravens defense is legit, and I just don't know if Patrick Mahomes has enough weapons to counteract it. Kelsey is not enough. Rashee Rice is a rookie. If they can run the ball with Isaiah Pacheco the way they did last night, man, is that Pacheco a beast or what? That kid's a beast.
But that ain't happening on Baltimore. Baltimore shuts the run down. And that's the thing with the Lions game too, is like McCaffrey's awesome, but we went up against a lot of awesome running backs this year. And even though you're like, oh, they should have kept on running the ball, but let's really look at that. They made him one-dimensional, and they held another good running back to less than 100 yards. I mean, I know that we didn't give any credence to Rice, doing anything to us. And honestly, outside of, he had like a 15-yard run within that, that's why they didn't run the ball, because outside of the two big runs that he had that were a little bit over 10 yards each, there was nothing. It was nothing. It was behind the line of scrimmage. It was run blitzes, tackles for losses, putting them behind the chains. I mean,
and I'll tell you something. There was a glimmer of hope for Buffalo at the end of the game. If they could have got a stop, if they could have got a 3 and out at the end, they would have had a couple of timeouts and at least 40 or 50 seconds left on the clock. But Isaiah Pacheco busts off a 9-yard run on first down. And they had him after 2 or 3 yards, and he somehow slips out and busts it up for 9 yards. That was a huge play. That's when KC knew then that it was over.
He is such and this is right from the get-go. Every time I watch Pacheco run, it's like this guy, his motor never stops. I mean, you got to bring him all the way down to the ground. He's one of those violent type of running. He kind of reminds me of, a poor man's Adrian Peterson, really. Maybe without the home run effect to it, but just that relentless, just getting extra yards, and if you arm tackle, he'll come right out of your, 5 people have him. He'll just run right out of that.
Yeah. You know who he reminds me of? His running style is Roger Craig from the 49ers, who always had those high knees coming up and churning. Yeah, you're right about the home run threat. He certainly doesn't have the burst that AP had going through the hole. And it certainly didn't have the juke and moves that AP had, but a hard runner for a 7th-round draft pick. What a hit for Brett Veach and the Kansas City Chiefs. Sent Clyde Edwards-Helaire right to the bench when that guy came in, started running like that. So, yeah, if the KC can run the ball the way they did against Buffalo, against Baltimore, they're going to have a real shot here. Most of the people here in the comments are saying that the Ravens are going to handle Kansas City, that Mahomes is going to choke. But one thing to keep in mind, folks, Andy Reid is one of the best game planners the football world has ever seen. Play callers, game planners. He comes out with a plan and he executes that plan most of the time. And when you've got a guy like Patrick Mahomes, that makes it even easier for you. So I don't count the Chiefs out of this game one bit. And with Lamar and the Ravens history, Lamar hasn't made it to a Super Bowl yet. So going to be very, very good game. Both of these championship games are going to be heavyweight fights.
And I love it. So here it is, guys. The table is set. It's like we don't have a lot to talk about because I refuse. We are not doing any kind of draft or any type of talk until these playoffs are over. So this is the table. The table's been set. The Lions have an opportunity. I wanted to touch on the one thing that you had brought up. Yes, I was rooting for San Francisco. I tried, Mike. I was watching that San Francisco game, and I was watching them play the Green Bay Packers, and I was trying to put myself in a mindset where I'm like, oh, I'm going to root for home field advantage. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I know.
I am a fan, guys. Like, and I'm not saying you're not a fan if you were rooting for home field, because I know that you're not rooting for the Green Bay Packers. You were rooting for another playoff game to be in Ford Field. I am such a rivalry dick that I can't accept it. I couldn't bring myself to even root for a first down or have any type of happiness for any Green Bay success. Like when they sealed that game and they got that interception, I had this feeling of joy, like a lot like when the Lions won that game and we're going to the NFC Championship. You know, when they got that interception, I got the same kind of joy from the Barnes interception that I did from the San Francisco interception. Thank you, San Francisco. Now I don't have to listen to any Green Bay fans. You guys are beneath us for this season. We have surpassed you. We are here in the NFC Championship all by ourselves, talking about no other NFC North teams, because I am a Lions fan. And I refuse under any circumstances. Give me 10 home games in a row. I don't give a shit. I will not ever root for the Green Bay Packers, ever.
So if the Lions were out of the playoffs and the Packers were still in, you wouldn't be as gracious as these Packer fans who are hoping that Detroit wins it all. Would not be you.
Not. Absolutely not. And shame on you for rooting for us. I don't care about any outside of Detroit happiness. You can keep it all on you. You get no joy for this. Take your L. Your L, Steve. Take your L, A-Dub. Everybody that wants to give us some attaboys, I appreciate it from the point of I want it for my own, but I don't need it from a Green Bay fan. I don't need it from a Dallas fan. I don't need it from a Rams fan. Just like Elise Meme says, you know, with those two little astronauts that are in there, you know, stop eyeballing my team. Stop pretending. You ain't my fan. Let me win 3 titles in a row. How much you gonna like that, Green Bay?
Yeah, you're gonna root for us then?
You're gonna root for me next year too when we kick your ass again?
Ooh. Hardcore. Russell Wayne throwing blows. You're watching Football Talk with Russell Wayne on the Main Event 365 Network every weekday morning at 11 a.m. Tomorrow's PFF Tuesday here on the show. Be sure to join us. And, of course, Wednesday, we'll be doing Lion of the Week. And this is going to be a real interesting one. Derek Barnes, the leading candidate so far to be nominated for Lion of the Week on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, it's Good Vibes Thursday. And we'll be making our predictions on Friday with GT from Man We Know Sports on Prediction Friday. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Lions Villain Squad. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Lions, MANE, Event 365, at Main Event 365. Sorry, there's no Lions in that one. I got a 12 o'clock conference call, so I got to jump off here in a minute. God bless each and every one of you. Peace out.
All right, that's Main Event Mike. And you know what? And thank you, everybody that came out to Mount Holly yesterday and enjoyed the football game with us. It was really fun. We Mike and I have never done a live remote before, so you know we took the bar over. We took the bar over and we made everybody sing the song after every score. It was exciting. It was a beautiful thing that was there. So Russell Wayne and the Villain Squad, you know, we take our act on the road a little bit. We sang some songs. We did some rap music. It was a lot of fun. It was a ton of fun. I'm not used to this. I mean, it is January 22nd, and the Detroit Lions are still in the playoffs. I'm usually talking about other teams at this time of year. I'm usually busting out mock drafts with Jeremy Ballrick and Main Event Mike. Who are we going to get in the draft? Who's available in free agency? We got to make this team better. Not this year. We have the luxury that I don't have to talk about draft. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. I get to talk about playoff football.
Playoffs.
Yes, playoffs.
Playoffs.
Yes, playoffs. It's happened. Finally. The Lions won 2 playoff games in the same year.
Acknowledge me.
It's amazing. It hasn't happened since 1957. I mean, that's a good thing. And you know what? I love all my Green Bay Packer fan friends. I love you guys. I love Steve. Steve knows how to fan. He knows how to be a fan. I mean, I may hate the Green Bay Packers with a passion, but Steve, when their team was 4-6, when everybody was laughing at him, this Green Bay Packer team was 4-6. Steve was still in here. A-Dub was still in here. They were still supporting their team, and I respect that as a man, like just a man to man. I love somebody that is die hard for their team. And that definition of what die hard is different for everybody. You know? I mean, sometimes die hard, I mean, like my friend GT, Sir Slap Nasty, Grove, GT the 4th. He's a sport fan. So he appreciates high level play. In any sport, so we appreciate a Patrick Mahomes. Like he can appreciate Stafford, you know, from afar. And I couldn't bring myself to like the opposing team under any circumstance. But some people can. You know, you look at the spirit of competition. I can look at your team afterwards, right? I hate the Green Bay Packers, but I can look at talent like Romeo Dobbs. I can, you know, look at that, and I can respect that talent. I like that. By the way, Main Event 365, the last time the Lions won a road playoff game was 1957 in San Francisco to win the World Championship. See, that's amazing right there. You know, there were 2 different things that happened because the Lions haven't been to the NFC Championship since 91. But the caveat to that is that they only had to win 1 playoff game to get to the NFC Championship. And then they lost. So they only won 1 playoff game in 91. 1957. 1957 was the last time. So you're in an era with really, really good cars right there. You know, you're taking it back. You're breaking these glass ceilings. The Lions have never been to a Super Bowl. That's what they're going to be fighting for. That's just one of those stigmas that you can't get rid of until you do. Now, here's a question to Lion fan, and I'm going to put the music up here. Yes. Here's a question to Lion fan. If they fall short to the San Francisco 49ers, could you be satisfied with the season? Or do we continue to move the goalpost because we can? By the way, it's like I used to think in the middle of the season, like I hated it. Oh, you keep on moving the goalpost. You keep on moving the goalpost. I don't mind it so much anymore because now they've moved the goalpost so many times. There's only so many more goalposts that they can move. And you know what I'm talking about. Like, you move the goal, you ain't never been to a Super Bowl. I mean, you ain't never been to a Super Bowl and you ain't never won a Super Bowl, is it? That's the last thing. That's the last thing that's on there. And automatically, from what Jeremy B's talking about, is they haven't won a road playoff game since 1957. Well, if they make it to the Super Bowl for the first time, they will have won a road playoff game. And then they knocked another one of those goalposts out of the way, and there would only be one left. So eventually it's going to happen. Eventually the cards fall that way. And yeah, and I'm really sorry that I'm so hardcore on my fandom. Mike's not like that. Mike says kudos to you, but just from a hardcore fan stand, it's like we don't need accolades from people from the outside. Like Jeremy says, they hate us because they ain't us. Well, they don't hate us yet, Jeremy. They don't hate us yet. That means that we haven't done our job good enough. And the thing is like, you know how you build hate? You keep winning. You win right in their face. Because I guarantee that even these people that like us right now, the Lions, it's like they'll jump on the bandwagon, they'll jump off the bandwagon when they get sick of it. Because I remember when everyone loved Patrick Mahomes. Oh, he's going to be as good as Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes, so good. Oh, look, he did his commercials. He looks so good on commercials. Now people are like, man, I'm so sick of seeing Patrick Mahomes. I'm so sick of seeing Taylor Swift. Oh, I'm so sick of it. But, 3 short years ago, Kansas City was everybody's little darling. Well, now the Lions are the darling. Now a whole bunch of these people that don't really care about the Lions are going to tell everybody that they like the Lions. Oh, I've been pulling for them. I don't care. If you didn't suffer through 0-16, it just ain't going to feel. It just won't feel the same way to you. You might be able to take some joy into it, but you won't be able to take joy like the people that are going to cry when it happens. Like, how do you not shed a tear when, you've been a hardcore fan and it's never been delivered to you before, and then you see it happening? You see it happening with your kids. You realize that, wow, you can share these moments together like the family. Now, I appreciate someone saying, hey, I'm happy for you, Russ, like Steve. I appreciate that. But it's like, you didn't watch Lions games with your kids. You didn't grow up watching them lose to the Green Bay Packers over and over and over again. You guys gouged our eyes out year after year after year. So, like, that's like an abuser telling you that he's sorry after he kicks your ass 20 years. Thanks, but no thanks. Dave says that he's happy. Scott says the Lions have already shown that they're real, so we're good. And they're a good team on the road. Yeah, I think that this victory, along with the Green Bay loss, makes it's almost like the NFC Championship that becomes an acceptable place to lose. Now, I think you want it all, because just getting these chances to play for an NFC title, these don't come along every day. Paul says that the scary part is this whole division is still rebuilding. Wow. This could be a different draft for the Lions this year. You know, when you're drafting and you have a completely bare cupboard board and there's nothing in there, you know, you're just looking for anybody that's talented that can play on your team. But, you know, now he's acquired a bunch of talent. I mean, you're going to look at this draft and free agency. I mean, you pick up a shutdown corner somehow, either in a draft, you pick up a defensive lineman, stick right next to a lean, and another pass rusher. And then then you're just really drafting backups and future people you can develop after that. There's not a lot of holes on this Lions team. Now, the holes that are holes are really holes. Like, it's a concern, right? The holes, you know, you don't have a shutdown corner. That there is an obvious thing that, like, San Francisco can attack on this team going into the NFC Championship. You know, now in the offseason, you'll have a chance to correct all that stuff because everybody's under contract. So most of the defense and most of the offense are staying together. So, Fred Peters, what's up, buddy? How long did we sign Mosley, and do we get him back next season? Now, Mosley was a one-year deal, Fred. So, I don't know how that's going to work, like injury-wise, but Mosley, because of where he was injured, I mean, I can't even see him. I mean, he's got the other ACL that he's got to go through. Maybe he can be there in a teaching capacity or something like that, but I don't know if Mosley's going to be, be able to be effective next year. You know, it would be another situation like this year. If they signed him again, he wouldn't be ready for the season, but, 3-4 weeks into the season, he could possibly be ready. But, I mean, got 2 plays in. It's too bad for Mosley. He is a really good player. But I think they'll get younger there when it comes to it. Kansas City and Baltimore. I mean, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. The defending champs.
The champ is here.
Patrick Mahomes, the champ, the champion, still in there. And you got the MVP, Lamar Jackson, hosting the man. That should be a great game. I hope it's a great game. I hope they don't shut down Lamar Jackson. I hope that Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson play like the 2 best quarterbacks in the NFL. Really, I think that there's 4 really good quarterbacks that are left. I mean, anybody that can watch the last games that Jared Goff has played and, put any type of, he's clutch. Jared Goff has been ice cold, like just in a good way. Shutting you down. Closing games out. Hitting big touchdowns. hitting huge throws in big moments. Him and Amon-Ra St. Brown, whoo, damn. What a great connection that is. It's a beautiful year. San Fran hosting your Detroit Lions. Kansas City headed to Baltimore. NFC and AFC Championships. The Lions have a shot to go where no Lion has gone before, to the Super Bowl. Yeah, Henry says don't ever count Mahomes out. You can't. There's regular season Patrick Mahomes.
It's my quarterback.
And then there's playoffs Patrick Mahomes.
It's my quarterback.
That is a completely two different things right there. But I'm coming to the end of my time right here for today on Lions Talk with Russell Waynes, and it became Lions Talk. It's like the Lions have earned this because we usually just talk about all NFC North teams, but now it's all about the Lions from the NFC North, and this is awesome. This is awesome because if it was Green Bay that was here, I would be forced to talk about Green Bay in the NFC Championship if it was the other way around, and that would be the worst. But I'm a professional. That's what I'll do if I have to do it. But the Lions are there. Wow. It feels good to talk about it this year. So Lions Talk with Russell Wayne each and every day at 11 a.m. with my compadre main event Mike. We're welcoming Jeremy Ballrick to the Villain Squad crew. He has a show 10 a.m. He gets things kicked off every day at 10 a.m. Motor City kneecap biting with Jeremy Ballrick. Make sure that you check it out. That's weekdays. I do believe that he'll be going live again tonight, doing like a recap. I think he has an every Monday show. So make sure that you check that out. I know that will be in the comments. So we enjoy talking football, faith, family, and football. Faith comes first. So I'm setting this up right here. Pastor Kevin Galloway, he puts a great word in. That's my church right there. NTC. God bless each and every one of you. Every Sunday, we have church service. I get to play guitar in that praise and worship team, and that's a lot of fun. Worshiping the Lord every Sunday. So if you need a church, come and see us. Come and see us. And thank you to anybody that uses our link that's in this description for our outreach. Our outreach at NTC was able to serve over 400 families for Thanksgiving. And, you know, we don't just buy a bunch of turkeys and drop them off. No, we have people from our church went into the community and distributed 400 turkeys for Thanksgiving. And then for Christmas, we were able to bless 100 families with Christmases. Like, I'm not talking like just one G.I. Joe with a Kung Fu grip. I'm talking about an entire Christmas for 180 families. So if you give and you use our link to give to the NTC Give, that's what that's the type of stuff that we do at the church. The outreach is important. Faith comes first. And then family and football, that makes it easy, guys. Look at where we're at. We're in the NFC Championship, man. My sons, my daughter, all of my friends from the Lions Den, the family and football, that's easy. You just spend time with your family, and then you get to have moments like this. Maybe not every year, but you get to have some moments like this. So God bless each and every one of you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again tomorrow with us, tonight with Jeremy Ballrick. God bless you guys. See you tomorrow. It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
What's up, y'all? This is Ifeatu Melifonwu, safety for the Detroit Lions. And I just want to take some time out to give a big shout out to Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike from the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. It's a fan page and a podcast. And I just want to say I appreciate the support of me and my team. And I encourage everyone to go check out their podcast and check out their fan page. Go Lions.
I want to thank everybody for watching the program today. As always, I'm going to throw that YouTube link right into all of those spots. Please go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you for your support. Hey, Matt LaFleur, any thoughts on your loss?
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious.
I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. I knew we could have won state, man. I know I came in a little bit overweight, but I'm going to do much better next time. One pride, let's go. Woo!
Hey, Dan. How you doing? You know, I heard that we need to go out. We're going to need to send some guys out to San Francisco next week. We got to make sure that we got to protect the golden boy. You know, Jared? Hey. Jared Goff can sit in the back and he can throw the ball to whoever he wants to. He can do whatever he wants to do. You got that? Yeah, we're going to send Frankie. We're going to send Frankie. We're going to send Decker. We're going to send him out there. We'll take care of a few things. Make them see things our way. Love boat. season 1. You got to be pretty impressed with that. Woo! There is nothing that I love ending the end of the end. You know, this has been last call, the final call, but nothing ends a show better than some Green Bay tears. God bless you guys. Talk to you tomorrow.
It's not fair. They were so happy. It's not gonna be okay.
What's going on, Russell Wayne and the Main Event 365 Network? This is Jason Kabinda from the Detroit Lions. Here to give y'all a shout out, man. We appreciate all the support, man. Know you guys are big fans. Know that you guys are rooting for us to take the North this year, and we're going to do just that, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Just want to give y'all a shout out. Y'all have a great day.